Hello and welcome back. This is part 3, and we're going to be playing around in the sandbox today. So when you are in the admins panel, you will see that there are these tabs over here. And the way WordPress sets itself up is it organizes all the tabs over here. So we're going to play around in the Learndash LMS. So that is our learning management system. And we have our courses, modules, and lessons. So if we come over to courses, we will play around in the sandbox. So this is what we will focus on, our sandbox. Now, when we enter into the sandbox, you will see that there is some options for us in the builder. So if I come over here to the builder, we have some practice modules that we can play with. So practice module 1, we are going to add some content. As you can see, there is a practice lesson 1. So if we come here, there really is nothing within that lesson. So it'll let me edit the title of it, but it will not let me edit any content. So I have to come here where it says edit, and it's going to say, do you want to leave? And you tell it yes to leave, because what you want it to do is bring you into the actual lesson portion. So we are now in the lesson portion. We're in Practice Sandbox Lesson 1. So it says, let's add some content. So if you want to add content, come over here, hit the add. You can add a paragraph, you can add columns, you can add a YouTube, an image, a list. And there's some other things that you can add here. Now for us, I want us to add an interactive piece to this lesson. So if I come over here and I say I want some H5P content, all the H5P content is where the learner can actually interact with the interface. So it's not just reading or consuming a video or listening to an audio. Here we are asking the learner to do something. So when we come here, we see so far that I have a blended learning definition. I wanted them to come up with their own definition. And so I created an H5P content. But I want some new H5P content. So I'll just come up here and say, add new. Now what's nice about H5P is that it gives you a list of things to choose from. So here is the H5P content selector. You can create content or you can upload content. Here we want to create content. Now I want to do a goal setting exercise with the learners. So I have to think about my learners. In this case, I know that they are teachers. I know that they have degrees. They are teaching a foreign language. And so I want them to set goals. And I want to think which is the best for them to set goals. Do I want to give them an essay? Do I want to give an accordion style? Do I want to give some type of collage or a presentation? Here are dialogue cards. It's kind of like flashcards. Do I want to do a drag and drop? Do I want to do a fill in the blank? Or maybe find the hotspot or guess the answer? There's an interactive video. Do I want them to mark the words? Or maybe a memory game? Do I want to do a personality quiz or just a quiz? Do I want them to do a summary, create tasks with a list of statements, a timeline, or a true-false question? Create an image with multiple hotspots or find the multiple hotspots. Image juxtaposition. Excuse me. Image juxtaposition. Create an interactive image. Do I want to upload an audio recording? Or do I want to create an audio recording? Maybe I want them to record their goals. Speak the words. Answer a question using your voice. And that's only available in Chrome. Aggiamato. Present a sequence of images and explanations. Image sequencing. Flashcards. Create stylish and modern flashcards versus the one that we saw up here, which was some type of dialogue cards. Create text-based turning cards. All right, and then from the flashcards we have speak the word set, create a series of questions answered by speech. That's Chrome again. An image slider, kind of like a photo slider. There's a word that I'm looking for. It's not coming to me, but it just slides through your photos. Slideshow. That's what I'm trying to say. Like a slideshow. Image pairing, drag and drop image matching game. Dictation, create a dictation with instant feedback. Branching scenario, create dilemmas and self-paced learning, which is in beta testing. A virtual tour, create a 360 environment with interactions, which you can do that with Google. You can create a 360, and I can show you that. Or you can have a 360 camera, which I have that, where we can do that. And then find the words, a grid word search game. So these are all the different types of content interactions that we can have the learners do. Now, if I want them to create a goal statement, maybe I want to do some type of, I don't know, because all I want them to do is look over the standards for foreign language instruction. So I'm going to give them a reading and I'm going to say, here are the standards for teaching a foreign language. Based on these standards, I would like for you to select a goal for yourself and or select a standard for yourself and write a goal based on that. So what I could probably do is maybe mark the words where we can put the standards in there and then they can highlight which one they want. And then maybe they can do some type of voice recording. So create an audio recording. Why did you choose that standard? So it could be a number of things happening. Now, whichever one you pick, you have to download it. So you hit the get, and they actually give you a demo of it, and then you tell it to install. So here it looks like Mark the Words allows content designers to create textual expressions with a defined set of correct words. The end user highlights words according to the task description and is given a score. So that may not work for what we want to do. So we'll back up. And now, as you can see, we already have it. So we have this, and now we have this. So I think we still want them to do an audio recording. So I'll say, okay, let's get the audio recorder. An HTML audio recorder records your voice and playback or download a WAV file or your recording and use the H5P plugin to create an audio recorder to your Drupal, WordPress, or Moodle site. Now that was the audio recorder, so now it's installed, but if we go back, we have upload an audio. So here we can upload one. So let's go ahead and get that one too. So we will have those two. And they can actually listen to some of the recordings. Maybe you want to do a mini lecture that they can listen to. But I'm still trying to figure out which is the best for them to do their goal setting. So maybe I will have them to do essay again. Create an essay with instant feedback. And it's not that they're going to necessarily get feedback because this is a goal for themselves. So I don't know if we want them to have instant feedback, but I think that's the best one. Create a task with a list of statements. Let's see what that one is. Summaries help the learner remember key information in a text, video, or presentation by actively building a summary about the topic at hand. When the learner has completed a summary, a complete list of key statements about the topic is shown. Okay, well, that's a great tool, but I don't know if the goal statement would be a summary. So you see the thinking process that we have to go through when you're selecting the best tool, the best interface for the student to interact with for the task. So if I just simply want them to do some goal setting, then maybe the best thing is to do the essay. So let's go back and look at this essay again. In this content type, the author defines a set of keywords that represent a crucial aspect of a topic. These keywords are matched against a text students have composed and can be used to immediately provide feedback, either suggesting to revise certain topic details if a keyword is missing, or confirming the student's ideas in the text if the text contains a keyword. So that will be the essay piece. So this is pretty much the different tasks that we want to look at. In this case, I just want the learner to do some goal setting. And since we're going to have them to record, then we'll just use that. So we'll give them the readings. We'll say, here are the standards for foreign language instruction. Read through these standards and choose one and create a goal for yourself and record your goal using the audio recorder. So we can go that route. Excuse me. So we already have it, and let's use it. All right, so here's the title. And the title will be Goal Setting. Task description. They say it's optional. Optional text to display above the audio recorder. Now, I do want that text there. I do want it above the audio recorder. So I will say, after reading the standards for foreign language teachers, choose one of those standards and create a goal for yourself. Next, share your goal with the class. Let's see. Next, share your goal. I'll just say next, share your goal. Or I could say share your goal by recording yourself reading it. Okay. Now we have to have a way for the others to interact. So once they have listened to it, then they can respond. So maybe we will put another audio recorder. Now that you've listened to your classmates or whatever, you now respond. So here we've created it. And the response would have to be in some type of group forum. And this is what it will look like. Now here's the key. You have to look at these short codes. What's next? You can use the following short code to insert this interactive content into posts, pages, widgets, templates, etc. So this short code is going to be important for us. So let's copy that short code. And what I like to do is have a Google Doc that has those short codes in there. So that way, if I needed it really quickly, I could just go and grab it. So now that we have the short code, we're ready to go back to our lessons. So we're going to leave H5P because it's already saved. And we're going to come up here to Learndash, and we're going to come over here to Lessons. Okay, we're in the lesson interface. And remember, we're in the sandbox. So let's go to practice sandbox lesson 1, because that was our practice lesson. And we're going to go in there and edit it. So we're going to hit the edit button. And now we are ready to add lesson content. Now I need a space for the readings. So if I add content here, you can add a heading, you can add an image or columns. Here, let's add some text. So I'm going to say a paragraph, and it's going to load it for me. So I guess in this paragraph, we are going to say, take a moment and read the standards for foreign language instruction teachers, for foreign language instruction teachers. We're just going to use that as an example. After you've read through the standards, create a goal for yourself. Okay, so let's preview that. So let's update it. Now this is a sandbox. We can't do anything wrong. We can't break it or mess it up. So it wouldn't be a problem. So this is how it's going to look. Okay, take a moment. Okay, so now that we've previewed it, we know what it looks like. We need to add a link that actually has the standards. So here is where you can insert your links. Now I don't have the link. I'm going to go in online and get that. But while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add that short code, because after they've read through the standards, then they have to do the next thing. So let's update it, because I've just added that short code, and now I'm going to view the lesson. So here, take a moment and read the standards for foreign language instruction. They're going to read the standards, and then there's that short code. But that's too much, because I don't want them to get too tied up in that. So I'm going to go back. Excuse me. I want to go back and I want to kind of put some type of section divider or something there, so that way the whole page is not too crowded, because we can have too much visual pollution and that would just kind of get in the way. So now we're back here, and here we can kind of add something. So I could tell it to add a heading, or I kind of wanted to add a section break. So we can do some formatting here. We can do some custom blocks, some layout elements. Oh, here we go. I can add a separator. Okay, so here is where I need to give them the link to the readings, and then I can have my section heading. Now, if I see that it is too much, then maybe I want that to be a second part to lesson 1. So take a moment and read the standards. I'll put the link there, and then there's a section break, and then now that you've read it, record it. So let's see, let's update that, and let's preview. Okay, take a moment. There's my section break. The page is not too overcrowded, but at the same time, I'm thinking that I might want this to be on a separate page. So I'll go back. Here I am again. And let me see what my options are. Let's see. I have formatting options. Okay, I have layout options. Oh, I can do a page break. I wonder how that looks. Let's try a page break. Okay, now let's update it. Now keep in mind, again, we're in the sandbox. We can't ruin anything. We're not in an actual course. And so that's the thing that I love about the sandbox. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so here, take a moment to read the standards, okay? And then once they've read it, it looks like they do have to go to another page. So it looks like back to the module. And then I guess if they mark that complete, let's see, where is the other page? Okay, that page break is not coming up. So now I have to figure out what happens in a page break, because where does this content go? So it looks like that page break is not going to work for us. So we come here and we tell it to remove. And there we go. And if this section is not working for us, that separator, we can come here and tell it to remove. So it's really user-friendly. It's really intuitive. Once you figured out how to navigate it, it works. It just flows. So I want you to try your hand at using some H5P content in the sandbox. Play around with it. If you want your learners to do something with goal setting, maybe you found a PowerPoint on goal setting that you want to upload into the page and you want them to view the PowerPoint, that can be done as well. That can be done through the H5P content. Okay, so let's just go ahead and update that. So play around in the H5P content and see what we can do, what we can create for our learners. Okay, so far we have the goal setting. What if we wanted to upload that PowerPoint? So we add new. And the PowerPoint could possibly be a part of the slider. Now, notice how whatever we downloaded is right at the top. So we already have access to it and it's ready to use. If we wanted to do a PowerPoint, we could do a course presentation. So let's check that out. Course presentations consist of slides with multimedia text and many different types of interactions like interactive summaries, multiple choice questions, and interactive videos. Learners can experience new interactive learning material and test their knowledge and memory in course presentations. As always, with H5P, content is editable in web browsers, and the course presentation activity type includes a whatever drag and drop based authoring tool. I would have to look that up. A typical use of the course presentation activity is to use a few slides to introduce a subject and follow these with a few more slides in which the user's knowledge is tested. Course presentations may, however, be used in many different ways, including as a presentation tool for use in the classroom, or as a game where the usual navigation is replaced with navigation buttons on top of the slides to let the user make choices and see the consequences of their choices. And the thing I like is it gives you some samples of what it could possibly look like. So we definitely want that. So think about playing with a PowerPoint and maybe uploading it in the goal section, and maybe the user has to read through the PowerPoints on goal setting and then look at the standards for foreign language teachers, or just look at standards period, and then create a goal for themselves and then record it. So you see all the different things that we can have the learner do with interactive content. It's just amazing. So consider using this for our course. All right, so that ends this video. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Happy learning, and I like to say, have fun playing in the sandbox.